Hey, what's happening, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's time.
What's happening?
It's time for Real Talk Real Estate. And hey, Greg, what's happening on Sunday?
More chicken wings.
No, dude, that's Saturday. Sunday, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl Sunday. Ooh, so exciting. Hey, you know what? We decided to take this opportunity. You see, we're dressed as officials. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but having somebody who can watch what's going on and, you know, maybe see helmet-to-helmet contact or pass interference.
You're not referring to the Saints game, are you?
I might be. But you know what? Having a realtor involved, let's try to lighten this up a little bit, is kind of like having a good referee involved in the system. You want somebody who's watching your back, who can throw a flag when something's getting ready to go wrong, and keep you from experiencing any kind of penalties throughout your real estate transaction. And that's what we're going to talk about today, specifically why you need a realtor. Man, this lighting is not working so hot today. So I got several key points that we want to talk about today. There's a lot of reasons why you should use a real estate agent, but today we're going to touch on really these 8 key items that I think are most important. So first one, education and experience. Why is that important to have?
Well, you've seen it all. Like you've been in the game. You've seen scenarios, and in our line of work, no two transactions are the same.
Ever.
However, it can lead you into being able to formulate educated decisions on what's going to better help out your client.
Absolutely. You know, like you say, since no two transactions are the same, I mean, I've been in real estate for almost 13 years now, and even though they're never the exact same thing, past experiences definitely at least give us a path of least resistance to try to work through a situation. You know, we were fortunate enough, our team did 50 transactions last year. Mm-hmm. How many people can say they've sold 50 houses in a year when they're just buying and selling their own home? Probably not a lot of people. So when problems do arise, a lot of people just don't have the knowledge or experience to even know who to turn to or what to possibly do.
And just like a football team in the playoffs, you're not going to go game by game using the same exact plays and the same exact system.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to negotiating not only the price point, but the inspections as well. There's different tactics that we have used to prove to be very helpful in getting our clients pleased.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, what's second on the...
Second one over here on the list is buffering help. Now, what I mean by buffering help is having a...
You mean like buffing?
No, not buffing the screen.
Oh.
Having a person that you can turn to discuss the frustrations that you might have. I don't know if you know this or not, but there are several rounds of negotiations in a real estate transaction. It's not just the price.
No, but that's the most common.
Most common, right? But after we get through that, like he said, there's inspections. There's sometimes appraisal issues. There could be title work problems that come up. Who's handling taxes? How do I go through all this process? It's not super easy to go up to a person and tell them, hey, man, there's something wrong with your house and I need you to fix it.
Right.
We do that all the time.
Right.
Easy enough for me to do, but if I had to go to Greg, one of my buddies here who I'm buying a house from, and say, hey, dude, I don't know if you know this or not, but I need you to fix $1,000 worth of stuff in your house.
$1,000 if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, he might be like, I don't know about that. Or pricing. I mean, Think about that.
Absolutely. And let's be honest, the pricing scenario is quite possibly the easiest out of all of it.
Absolutely.
So having that buffering system and knowing where to go to help, and I mean, just our managers alone here at FC Tucker, how many years combined experience do we have to?
Probably 100 years combined experience of real estate knowledge.
Yeah,
over 100 years would be my guess. Not only that, the other cool thing is negotiations can get kind of tense from time to time.
What you're really dealing with is somebody's personal property. They might have lived there 1 year. They might have never lived anywhere else. They could be in that dwelling for 50-plus years. Their great-grandpa built it from their stone hand, so there's a lot of emotional attachment there. That's where we come in to help with this buffer.
Our job is, you know, hey, I have no emotional attachment to your property. My job is to show you this as a business transaction, where we're at and everything else. And that's what kind of keeps people focused on the real details, the core of what's going on there, and not the emotional stuff that gets involved there. We kind of touched on it a little bit too, like kind of negotiation back and forth on the pricing, but price guidance is something that's super important.
Not only price guidance for purchase, but a listing.
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of information out there. A lot of people think, hey, you know, I can just get online and I can see what the Zestimate for my house is, and I can use that as my valuation, right?
Right. No. Go back, 3 months, check out our platform there.
Yeah. Had a lot of information on valuation of properties. But not only that, people are like, oh, well, I know my neighbor sold their house for this. Well, how do you know your neighbor sold their house for this?
Exactly.
Oh, well, he told me. How many times have you been told, oh, my neighbor said he got this for his house, and then you go and you look it up and you find out that actually his neighbor lied, the house didn't sell, and when they finally moved it, it was for $500,000 less than what they said it was.
Not only that, but what concessions were used in it.
Absolutely.
There's
Did they pay closing costs?
Yeah, exactly.
Home warranties?
Exactly.
All those things.
A lot of facets to that price guidance, and that's why we're here to help. Next, we're here to help good realtors want to know the market conditions. And we are educated on that monthly at the minimum, if not weekly, in our sales meetings.
Yeah, so Tucker, we do a great job at making sure that agents are on top of all the market conditions. We publish a monthly report called Market Watch, which tells you really all the good stuff you need to know about the market as a whole. How many houses have sold? How many houses have listed? What's the average price looking like? What's our average days on market? All solid indicators of what's going on on the market as a whole. But guess what?
What's that?
Real estate is hyper-local. We have the options to get in and actually dive into the data on the micro market level to make sure that we're getting you the best information. Sometimes a zip code to zip code difference can make a difference in what the market condition looks like.
Not only that, but we're also able to look at neighborhoods.
Absolutely. Specific to the subdivision.
Your neighborhood in Evansville might be totally different from the neighborhood in Newburgh, even though it's very close to being the same exact floor plan.
Absolutely, 100% accurate. Professional networking, huge resource to have a realtor involved. I tell my sellers all the time, I am not only marketing your home to all the buyers in the market, I'm marketing your home to all the realtors in the market. Because let's be honest, I'm one of 860 realtor members. I want those other people to help me get your house sold.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot better off when I've got a great relationship with somebody and they want to work with you.
And when you're over at the Super Bowl party on Sunday, what are people going to be asking us?
Hey, what's my house worth?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How fast are the houses going? And we're able to bounce that off each other right there. But if we don't know, we're just a simple text away from somebody who says, hey, you live in this neighborhood, tell us what's going on.
Absolutely. Yep. And not only that, if you're trying to sell it yourself and you don't know all these other agents or anybody else, you don't have as broad of a net that you're able to cast to try to get the people out there that may be looking for a house like yours. The internet's a wonderful thing.
Beautiful.
Fantastic tool. Use it all the time. Clearly, we're coming to you right now live online. But guess what? Just putting a house online doesn't necessarily reach the people who might be interested. If there's one small little detail that somebody is looking specifically for and they may have their search a little too narrow, they can miss your house. But by having those relationships with other people and saying, hey, this is what I got. If you have anybody looking for something like this, that can be all the difference in whether or not your house sells.
And I think that's an area where we excel. I mean, our Facebook channel here has over 1,100 people on it. So right when you list with us, we're going to 1,100 people that are not, they may or may not be real estate related. Right. However, that spreads like wildfire.
Getting it out there.
And not only that, we a company with AdWorks, we're guaranteeing 7,000 impressions.
Week one.
So, where were we at? We just got really excited about professional networking.
We're in negotiation.
Yeah, so we're all over it, and we want to help you move your property through our professional networking. Sorry about that.
No.
All right, now let's talk about negotiation. Very easy, right?
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's one of the hardest things in the real estate transaction. Not because it's necessarily a difficult thing to get done, but because you have to do it so many times and so many different points can come up during a negotiation.
And it's really a system. Like if you had a house for sale for $200,000, if I came at you with $150,000, I mean, there's emotion there. You're like, what is this guy thinking?
Exactly. Penalty. Throw that flag.
Who's going to offer me $150,000 on my $200,000 house? People can get offended in the art of negotiation, and that's where we're here, is to help massage that and help to lead that in a tactical way.
Yeah. On top of that, different people have different negotiating styles. We've done a lot of sales training, did Peak Producers last year with Buffini and Company, working on Pathway to Mastery right now. There are actually 7 recognized negotiating styles that we went through just in that training alone. You got to be able to know your style. Not only that, but you got to be able to recognize the style of the person on the other side of the table,
right,
and a kind of act accordingly and appropriate your response in a way that's going to get you where you want to go. Negotiation's not always a win-win. It can be a win-lose. It can be a lose-lose. If you don't know what you're doing, you can really mess it up big time. So that's where skilled negotiators, people who do this all the time for a living, are a huge asset to you.
Right. And finally, a great realtor is going to ask the correct questions to get you to closing, and to ask you after closing. So if you're doing your homework here, if you're doing the play-by-play, we've done 8 points, and we're going to get to these questions too and after closing. Everything has to do with communication.
Absolutely.
All right, we got the little earpiece in our ear. We're getting the call in from downtown saying that we need to relook at this play, but it really is all about communication. So tell us, what are some questions we need to ask after closing?
Yeah, so questions after closing, a lot of times people don't realize, when we want to get you to the closing table, make sure everything's taken care of, but we also want to know if you're still in a good position after you've moved into the house. So something that a good realtor is going to do is, like at the closing especially, we're going to have an opportunity to kind of figure out with transfer of possession, because sometimes it's 30 days after closing in our area. We're like, hey, do you need us to facilitate you getting into the new house? Hey, is there anything we can do to make sure that we get the transfer of utilities taken care of easier?
Absolutely.
Hey, how do we need to help you make sure that you get your trash taken care of? Not only that, now that you're in your house, is everything working properly? Do you have any questions on who to call if you have a plumbing issue or an electrical issue? Do you have a good roofer?
Right.
These are things that we are doing to provide additional value to our clients, so that even though we've closed the deal, the commission's been paid, all that's done, we're not giving up on you. You get us for life. We're in there in the trenches for you anytime you need us. And not only can we ask you the appropriate questions, but we want to be the source of answers if you have questions after closing.
And we're going to lead you to places that's even going to save you money. One thing I always forget about when I'm buying a house is exemptions.
Absolutely.
You got to go to the courthouse and file those exemptions. It's going to save you Skrilla.
Yeah.
And
I always make sure to follow up and say, hey, have you got those filed? Because it doesn't matter how good a title company is or what they do to get you taken care of. Sometimes the county might make a mistake. They may not admit it. They may say it's always on you. But guess what? Things happen. People make mistakes. We want to try to mitigate those mistakes before they happen. You don't want to be going for the first down and find out that, hey, somebody didn't see it. We thought you stepped out of bounds, and you didn't make it all the way to the goal line.
Exactly.
We want to get you there.
Yeah, we don't have instant replay.
We do not.
We have cleanup replay. Once something bad happens, I don't say bad, but something that happens out of the ordinary, we have to backtrack. We can't just go to the camera and say, all right, we'll play this play again.
Absolutely. So, as Greg said, those were the 8 points that we wanted to talk about today. If you were following along, those 8 points real quick. Again, a great realtor is going to be good on education and experience. They're going to be able to help buffer the situation when anything gets emotional. We're going to be able to offer price guidance and market condition updates, have professional networking to help other people find out about your house, negotiate that deal for you, and we're there to ask the right questions after close and to answer yours if you have them.
Be sure to check in with us on Saturday. We're going to video this again on Saturday?
Yeah, we may be live. We'll see what happens, but we will be vlogging our experience at the Evansville Wing Fest, second annual Wing Fest this Saturday. We got another wing challenge that we're doing.
This one's for speed.
And
if you notice in the last wing video, this guy doesn't hold a candle to this.
So here's what's going to happen. I was so mentally prepared for the heat, I didn't get ready for the consumption of the quantity. But guess what? I'm mentally preparing. This time I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be going guns a-blazing, and I think I might be able to challenge him a little bit better this time.
Finalists, we got like 30 seconds to talk Super Bowl. So who do you got?
I don't care that much about either team in the Super Bowl, but anytime there's anybody against the New England Patriots, that's who I'm rooting for.
So we're Rams.
Rams fans all the way.
So one other question. How are you feeling about Maroon 5 halftime?
I'm a Maroon 5 fan. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited to see what they've got to do for us.
It could not be any worse than Coldplay.
I mean, it probably could be.
We'll see.
But let's hope that it's not.
Hey, if you guys are ready to make a move, give Aaron a call at
812-779-6273 or shout at Greg at
454-8103. Have fun on Sunday, guys.
See ya. Finish.